Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, as you've all probably noticed, 2020 is our year, all of us human beings on this planet, to be tested. There might be a few that will sail by and this won't be their year, but for the vast majority of us, our gods are going to test us. And depending on who your gods are, it could take endless kind of variety. Odin went from the god I could always depend on and who was always kind and fairly gentle for Odin with me to being an absolute monster for all that period of time, and that's why I was attracting all those people that hated Odin. Because if Odin's going to test your integrity, he's going to make it a good test. You'll stumble out of the test half dead, and he'll go, "You passed, good for you." And he absolutely wanted to see what I was underneath. He knew what kind of household I grew up in. He knew what kind of man my father was. He absolutely had to see, had to smash me open and go through all the pieces and see exactly what I was made of. He needs to call normal people to him. He needs to call people that aren't, white supremacist or, in a hate group or crazy or into injuring themselves. He wants to call normal, everyday, common people to him, and he doesn't care. He was pointing out as I was doing my research, there are heathens from all over, as a true from all over. Chinese, black, white, it doesn't matter. If it's worth not birth is a saying in heathenry, and it's true. The gods call who they want. We have to remember whether they're in our bloodline or not, and you would actually have to get a DNA test to make sure. um, you don't you don't own them. I don't own Odin. I don't own Loki. It would be a lot of gall for me to say to Loki, you can't go work with that person because they don't look like me, or you can't work with that person because they're kind of a jerk and they're not the right nationality and they make fun of the people who are, but they want to work with you too. I don't get to do that. I would like to. As a human being, I would very much like to tell the gods, "You are my god, you stay here," but I can't do that. We're all greedy. It's why, it becomes such a bitch fest, especially in heathenry. And as I was reading the heathen articles, and he said that's why people start bitching each other out and casting magical spells on each other. It's highly competitive. It's in our nature. We are animals. We forget that. We might be humans. Yay, we're humans, but we're fucking animals, and we prove it every single day. Look at 2020. It's brought out the raging beast in most of us, and we're finding out exactly what we are. And Odin has defaulted to actual Odin. He's actually a sweetheart. He has a lot of integrity. Can he be underhanded at times? Any god can. But he has a lot of integrity, and now is the time for me to rest and recover. And Loki has gone into healer mode as well. It's when he wears this dazzling pure white with me. Now, that doesn't mean that I am special pagan princess. If you've never seen it, it just means I see that color. I grew up in the 80s. Everything was Navajo white. Was it the 80s or the 90s? Damn, I don't remember. I'm old. Anyhow, I getting laughter back here. Pure white was always a thing. As New Age was getting mainstream, you knew someone was good if they wore pure dazzling white, especially in movies. It would be like poke out your eyes white, singing, yeah! So he's been wearing pure white with me. So was Odin. Now, it doesn't matter if those colors are in the lore or not. There are very rare references to Odin wearing party colors, which means like all different colors all at once, and polka dots. I've never seen him show up in either, but that doesn't mean he can't. So again, yeah, back here. So I wanted to reassure you guys, Odin is one of the good guys. He's a hell of a tough teacher. I would not recommend him to anyone as much as I love him, as much as I'm loyal to him. He is hard. He will break you open repeatedly. He will make it hurt. Remember, both he and Loki are forge masters too. So it's like working with Ogu. If Ogu's ever got a hold of you and threw you on the forge and just beat the living shit out of you with the hammer, you know how painful it is. It breaks you down, and you're crying and whimpering and begging, to be let go, but they can't. They love you. It has to hurt. You know that meme about my dog is curled around my legs and she wants part of my chocolate chip muffin, but I won't give it to her, so she goes in the corner and she's very sad and heartbroken. And the meme goes, is this how the universe feels when I want something that's bad for me? Because, you can't give chocolate to dogs, you'll kill them. And, there's always this one smart aleck that posts the edition of me in the corner eating my bad decisions muffin in the universe. What the fuck are you eating? Me eating faster? And that's kind of like it. We all make bad decisions. We all need garbage cleaned out of us. We're humans. We're little emotion sponges. We pick up a lot of toxic shit a lot of times. Odin and Loki are two good ones to clean that out. It hurts like son of a bitch. We always talk about Loki tying you to chains and dragging you down a gravel road 2 a.m. screaming. He can be harsh. He can be harsh. Odin can too. They seem to find the walking wounded. I've noticed that most people are going to see the full Loki or the old man, if they're open about it. They're among the walking wounded. They either came from abusive households or they went through a war or something traumatic happened to them. They're the gods that can resonate with that. They're the gods that can take you and make you better, but you have to want to be better. There's a saying in AA that you have to hit the bottom of the barrel, but only you know where that is. And some people dig, and they dig a basement, and then they dig under that. You gotta figure out when you've hit your bottom. Only you know that. So, 2020 is the year of getting all the shit cleaned out of us, and it hurts. It hurts like a motherfucker. It's kind of why Odin wasn't never around, and Loki was never not around. I know my English. Um, and it's a thing of they knew I shouldn't have toddled off towards those plants. They knew I would break out, and I dimly remembered how miserable I was last time. But no, I wanted to save money because the government's not coming through and blah, 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 and I didn't trust the gods to take care of me and somehow provide me with the money for it. Well, look what happened. I'm going to be taking care of myself for a couple of weeks. It's not, thank the gods, quite as bad as it was the first time. So, they were kind of merciful, but they're also kind of like, you brought this on yourself. You knew what would happen. I did. I didn't want to listen. I wanted to save my money. So I got probably spent just as much in products taking care of myself as I would have spent, but, live and learn. So, Loki's very happy. He's in that pure white robe that he wears with me. Do not think it's something you have to see. It's just how my brain works. I'm an old chick, grew up in the 80s. That's holy and pure to me. Same thing for Odin. Like Gandalf when he was wearing white. Think of that. And they really don't care if I say heathen or not. If I want to say heathen, fine. It has to be something I own for myself. If I want to say as a true or whatever, fine. They're not forbidding me from other gods, but it's like a time of you have to come home and work with the Norse gods and you have to heal. And then if I want to toddle out, I can. But right now it's very much like they have me in the God, I want to say sick bay, but they have me in the convalescence room and they're going to take care of me and watch over me. And then when I'm stronger, I can go out. But I asked them today to help me with the runes. And guess what I was doing wrong with the runes for over a year? What I've done wrong with magic for a lot of my life because they taught magic differently in my time. I'm usually good, but I could be a lot better. I am left-handed. I usually use my right hand for magic. It was just the thing at the time. You could not use your left hand for magic. It was considered bad, weak, inefficient. As soon as I switched to my left hand for the rune pool, I got something that made a hell of a lot of sense. And I got Lagoose. It was like, go with the flow, just kind of do what you gotta do. There's no trap here. There's no evil plot of Odin. The Norse gods aren't monsters waiting to get me. They're my family, and they love me, and they were hurt when they found out how much the trust broke down. But, Odin will be really rough with his people. The Norse gods will be really rough. They're not kittens. If they're kittens with battle axes, as I've often said. They can be rough. They can be rough. I wouldn't recommend them for everyone. There are some people that get them and they're nice and gentle from day one and they never go through a period of testing. But if you've got traumatic shit in your past, they're gonna heal you. It's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. They are territorial. One good thing about that is that if you listen, and I have a problem with that, admittedly, they're going to keep you from being sidetracked. They can introduce you to other teachers from other pantheons, but it's more like if Odin's getting the respect to be the one to pick the teachers, it'll go a lot better, and then he doesn't care. But he mainly wants me learning the Nordic stuff. I am half German. It doesn't make a difference. You could have just flown in from Mars and you would be just as qualified to work with them. But he will play that with me. He's like, "You are half German. These are your gods, but guess we're not good enough for you. We're just dirty old illiterate heathens. We live in mud huts and live." Look at him like, my ancestors never once built anything out of mud, stone and wood, maybe, but I'm not perfect on the ancient tribes of Germany, but I can't ever imagine them digging, and building an actual mud hut, daubing something over with mud to make walls, yeah, but he likes to exaggerate. Because when I was working with the Greek gods had a little bit of an attitude, and they would kind of talk about the Nordic gods like they were peasants. Now, I don't know if that was some part of training too or not, but they can be, I love them dearly, but they can be a little snotty and cosmopolitan, and it doesn't work well for them. And it's good to be back with them. And it's good to have Loki back into that healing mode. So what I'm gonna do today, well, yeah, still today. What I'm gonna do today, it's been a long day. I'm going to go work on a healing temple that they can all access and they can all use to not only heal me, but they can rest up in, something like that. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.